So far in this course, we've covered two primary topics: the scope of UCC Article 2, asking the question, which transactions does Article 2 apply to? And in last week's module, we covered mutual assent, discussing the similarities and differences between how agreements may be reached under the common law of contracts versus UCC Article 2. And recall, in that context, we distinguish between agreements on the one hand and contracts on the other, and noted that even if we have an agreement, that is, even if the parties have mutually assented to a bargain, the parties' contract, that is, the total legal obligations arising under their agreement, may be less than what the parties actually agreed to. That may be true because the parties' agreement or certain aspects of their agreement may be legally unenforceable. In this week's module, we'll look at two barriers to the enforceability of an agreement as codified under Article 2: the statute of frauds and the doctrine of unconscionability. Recall from the common law of contracts that even if the parties have an agreement, that agreement may be unenforceable. It may be unenforceable because one or both parties may be able to raise a valid defense to the enforceability of the agreement. And indeed, you likely remember that the common law of contracts provides a number of defenses to the enforceability of an agreement, each doctrine with its own elements and rules. Thus, even if both parties have objectively manifested their assent to an agreement, some or all of that agreement may not be a contract between the parties. Although the UCC Article 2 codifies two defenses to the enforceability of an agreement, the statute of frauds and the doctrine of unconscionability, remember, where the UCC does not displace the common law supplements the UCC. So all of the common law defenses to enforceability still apply to a contract for the sale of goods. Stated differently, all of the common law doctrines that you have already learned are still in play in the context of UCC Article 2. But these common law doctrines are beyond the scope of this course. You won't be tested on these common law defenses in this course, but sadly or happily, depending on your perspective, these doctrines are not beyond the scope of the bar exam or practice, so you cannot forget about these common law doctrines. But our focus in this course will be the two defenses that are codified in UCC Article 2. And in the next video, we'll look at the first of these two defenses, the statute of frauds.